silencer case?
That was during my extended sabbatical.
We all consulted, but nobody made the trip to Texas.
Why not? 3 women in 4 months. Textbook kill rate. Undeniable signature. Obvious surrogates.
We were invited by the local police.
Aren't you tired of that?
Welcome to our world.
The women he killed were beaten and left in open ditches. That physical representation of his anger is missing this time around.
Well, he must do something else that satisfies him.
The signature is the same, but his victimology couldn't be more different. The guard was clearly a victim of necessity, but if he's in need-driven behavior, such as sewing mouths shut, how can he control that and only do it to the guard?
But maybe he just ran out of time.
Or he could want the guard to suffer in silence.
Literally makes his victims shut up.
It seems obvious, but there may be something to it.
Then the question is why?
Maureen, you and JJ go to the ME. Reed, you and Dave check out John Doe's cell. Blake and I will head to the U.S. Marshals.
SSA's Ochsner and Blake.
Oh, Tillman, thank you for coming. I got my whole team on this.
Any leads yet?
Well, the wreck happened out in the middle of nowhere after midnight. The sun comes up at 6, so we figure that he's on foot somewhere within a 12-mile radius of the accident site.
You think he's moving on foot in this heat?
It'll kill you in the best conditions. He stole some supplies, but not enough to hold up too long. So you can expect him to be active tonight.
Well, where can we set up?
Right in here.
Pass him any coffee by chance?
I just started upon it. We got his picture plastered everywhere. But if he's hiding, he's hiding. It's gonna be awful hard to weed him out.
I'm not good at waiting.
No, neither am I.
We've been keeping the media at bay. We don't want them to know too much.
Should try to keep it that way.
So what's all this?
His first crimes. They mean more to us now that he's killed again.
So he came out just as sick as he went in. You think he's gonna move or wait?
Well, he kills at night, which means that's when he's most confident.
If waiting for dark is the smartest move, that's what he'll do.
Everything points to a solitary existence. You know, interestingly enough, the most worn book is The Count of Monte Cristo.
Of course it is. The hero's only reason for living was to seek vengeance. Maybe he relates.
It's in French.
I didn't see that coming. Looks like he wrote a lot, too.
It's been pent up physically and verbally far too long.
So he gets into his first fight within days of being here. Got him a week's worth of solitary.
That pattern escalated until he eventually killed an inmate, got out of solitary, and killed another.
So he silences his victims before he gets inside. His actions get him silenced while he's here. Am I right?
Fortuitous. Looks like he has 2 forms of expression, silence and rage. We need to find out why he's operating in these extremes. Maybe it's in his writings.
The suture is 6-0 nylon. P3 needle, 13 millimeter long, 3/8 circle. A dozen of these would come in a box.
The suture drawer was empty on the ambulance.
Then he's got a lot more.
His technique isn't like a mortician. It looks like this, stitching is strictly through the lips.
It's rather crude what he's done. You see how the nylon is stretched? The victim struggled, which says the prisoner did it while this guy was still alive.
Torture, just like the first victims.
Well, now that you've seen his handiwork, open his mouth. What do we have here?
Gazing through to the other side.
That's not much of a taunt. Maybe it's not for us.
Then who?
What do you think?
Can I retract an early statement?
Sure.
There's nothing textbook about this case. These victims suffered in ways that were painstakingly personal.
You think he was abused the same way?
That his mouth was sewn, that's his way of expressing frustration, but there's something tied to the silence. I'm thinking he stayed quiet in prison because he was ridiculed as a child when he talked.
By someone who looked like them. Well, they could have had a speech impediment. It would have been severe, or a stutter maybe.
We've got ourselves a reader over here.
In multiple languages.
Spanish, English, and German are the primary languages for Texas.
He reads in French, but most of his own writings are in English. His handwriting is the size of karyotype and so far over 50,000 words.
And
The small print tells me he's methodical, not always social. The narrow spacing indicates tremendous amount of irritability.
looks like stream of consciousness. Interesting. His reading comprehension suggests above average intelligence, but his writing is inferior. Could be what he grew up hearing.
You two should guest lecture together. Oh, wait.
He literally put words in the guard's mouth.
That's new.
Well, we think this is what we were missing. The words give him the pleasure the beatings used to bring.
Guys, maybe we had this wrong. What if the ritual is sewing the mouths shut? His signature used to be the beatings, but now it's putting words in their mouths.
Yeah, just when you think his signature doesn't get more solid than that.
What did he write?
Gazing through to the other side.
It's not an anagram. Is that a phrase in anything you've read so far?
No, it's not a well-known literary reference either.
Well, the words mean something to him, otherwise he wouldn't share.
It's gonna get dark soon. We'll be on the move.
You want us on the road with the marshals?
No, I think we should concentrate on remote locations. He's not just escaping detection, he's a recluse. He'll be attracted to isolated locations.
What are you doing? Hey, I said, what are you doing? Answer me! You dumb son of a bitch.
Fresh fall styles.